Uh, well, welcome everybody.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help.
In '04 or 14, excuse me, and I've had it hanging on the wall since, let's see, since Brodax last year. I'm going to be going down to Kentucky. I think I'm going to go. So I decided to take it off the wall. This is the same airplane that I'm building for a customer that you see on the wall back here. Oh, you can't see it. Anyway, we're getting it ready. The motor was a little bit gummed up, so I shot some lighter fluid in it. Of course, you know, it doesn't much matter, but I'm sure that once I start it and run some fuel through it, it'll be fine. But I like to have an airplane that looks nice, and this year I'm only going to take one airplane. I'm not going to take a whole carload of stuff down there because I'm probably going to have to sleep in my car. So we'll just take one airplane. I thought I'd take the smallest one. That way I can fly two classes, Classic and Tampa. And I want to make sure all my gear is ready to go. So I'm just kind of wiping it down, getting it ready. I don't know. Some of you probably remember this model, and some of you have probably seen it in person. It's a nice model. I could only find the picture of the real one, of the original, and that's what was on the cover of this movie, the one that Tom built in 1969. This one weighs, I think it was 49 ounces, 48 ounces. It's a little heavy. It's not a 40-ounce airplane, but it flies well. It's got a George Aldrich, a McGass 46, I guess is what they call them, Super Tiger in it. The original had a McCoy in it. Tom really liked the McCoys, but I have a few McCoys, but I've always liked the power of the Tiger 46, and especially the George Aldrich reworked 46. This motor works real good. I'll show you the bottom here in a second. Get this wiped off. I fly this airplane on 60-foot lines. I did try it on 62s, but 62s I don't know, it just didn't perform very well, so went to 60s and ran the Cavs small handle. Now I ran across a couple of guys on a site, the YouTube Model Builders Association. Now those guys are trains. I know some of you guys on my site are into model railroading. You might want to check out their channel. It was kind of cool. We're going to see if we can't corroborate some stuff. He runs a Google Hangouts channel, and this is a YouTube type situation. For those of you who were here earlier today, I did the wingtip weight box on that other wing, very similar to this one, and for some reason YouTube ate my ate my video. So, just have to live with it. I thought I would put together a news format too. I was going to give a try out because we got this nice bench, and I can kind of do a format where I can do the reporting. I'm going to be taking my camera equipment to Paducah with me, so we'll try to put together a contest video from down there. It's just tough. It was kind of nice. I put the video out about the roof, and a guy from, well, I can't remember where he was, right here in Missouri, he's going to come up and take a look at my roof next week, because my other roofer never showed back up. So hopefully I could trade out building a wing or something to get my roof fixed. So that was kind of handy. Anyway, I just thought I'd put a little update on my favorite airplane. This is the airplane that got me started in stunt in 1969. I saw this airplane and I knew, man, I just had to have one. So how many years ago was that? This airplane was, so it'll be 70, 80, 90, 2000, that's 47 years ago. I saw this, it's hard to believe 47 years ago. Let me see here. 2016 minus 69 is 47 years ago. 47 years ago, I think it was July when they landed on the moon. This airplane, there was this airplane. The story behind this airplane is Norm Whittle had an airplane called the Playboy. And Tom liked that airplane, and somehow he bought it, and he designed this airplane and the Monado out of the Playboy. And he used the numbers or something, and Tom had two Monados. One was a purple, one was a green, and then this airplane and the Trophy Trainer. And they all kind of came about at the same time. The Trophy Trainer, which was painted like this airplane, was used in a movie because Tom Lay wanted to fly Tom Warden's Continental, and Tom Warden said no. So they built the Trophy Trainer and painted it very similar and used it as the double in the movie. We used to fly at Whittier Narrows and Sepulveda Basin. Of course, we also flew in those days at just about anywhere that you wanted to. We flew in the schoolyard, we flew in the parking lot of the hardware store, we flew it on the track, wherever. It didn't matter. It wasn't like today where you're going to jail for flying a model airplane. It's totally ridiculous now with all the regulations. They don't want to hear the noise, and I mentioned this on another video, I believe. They don't want to hear the noise, but I'll tell you what, if you take your electric airplane to the park and fire it up and fly it, you're probably going to get a ticket. It's nonsense. It's not about the noise. It's about, they don't want us to have fun anymore, I guess. I don't know, they took the glue away from us. The only glue that worked for plastic was this glue called Revell. And it came in a yellow tube, and I guess all the glue huffers used to sniff it because they knocked it out and they made this crappy tester's glue that doesn't glue shit. You can't glue nothing with it. Stick it together and, it's terrible. So they took our good glue away, and we used to get, I don't know, I'm kind of going on a rant here, but we used to get carbon tetrachloride. That shit was the greatest cleaner. I guess it was bad for you, I never died from it, and I've had it all over my handies. Wash your hands with it, whatever. I don't know. I'm not dead yet from it. They took the lead out of paint and lead out of gas. You know, they had one-shot sign painters paint. I got some striping brushes over there, and I couldn't believe what I was told. The one-shot sign painters paint today, because of the lead EPA, they've taken the lead out of the paint, is not one shot anymore. It's like 10 shots, so it doesn't cover in one fell swoop. It's ridiculous. You know, they can't leave well enough alone. There was a time you could ride in the back of the pickup truck, you know, and not get a ticket. Didn't have seat belts. There wasn't too many child safety rules in 1964 and 65. You know, there wasn't even seat belts in cars. And hey, we're all still here. What do you know? You know, common sense. Didn't need to wear bicycle helmet and pads and armor suit to ride your bicycle. We used to fall off our skateboards and get skinned up. Hey, I'm still here. Anyway, little levity there. You know, my videos have been more or less pretty serious about sanding and painting and things, but I give a little insight. I get so aggravated. When I was a senior in high school, I had 5 shop classes. I had auto shop, metal shop, wood shop. Then I went to physical education and back for another wood shop, then drafting, and then I went home. So that was 5 shop periods, because all my academics was done in my senior year, and that was the same year I went in the Navy. I got graduated early and went in the Navy. We were I showed that video of the jets on the donation promo video, and Dan Banjock worked on F-14s, the same airplane I worked on. We did the same job. We kind of, you know the same things. The only thing is, I did it 10 years before, but it's the same airplane. So was sitting watching those jets fly, and I was thinking, when I worked on that airplane, F-14, it was brand new, brand new. And when he worked on it, I'm wondering if it was still in new condition. I mean, because the Navy is, if you ever been in the Navy or been around the military, everything is super clean. The place of brass is polished. The paint is perfect. And I'm just wondering, was that airplane worn out 10 years after I was done with it? But I kind of doubt it. I haven't seen any of those old fighters, because I remember looking at the F-4 Phantoms, and the Phantom was on its last leg when I was in, but it lasted another 20 years. I guess they just retired the last of the Phantoms here within the last 10 years or so. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's longer than that. I can't keep track of it. But the Phantoms were leaking. They were a disaster. Same with the A7s and F8s. They were, oh man, junk. A6s, the A6s were junk. That stuff was from Korea, just after World War II and before Korea. That shit was old. But I don't know, kind of babbling, reminiscing on what I did in the Navy. I had a good time in the Navy. But we're going back down. I get to see Zerl again, and I don't know whether Lewis Rankin will be there. He was a commander, I think, or a lieutenant commander in the Navy, and I really liked when we went to Millington. we all were stationed at Millington for A school. That's where our A schools were, digging around in the field looking for that pad. But I really like the Orchel paint scheme. I've had several airplanes with this scheme. There's a guy I know he's gonna be watching this video, and he watches the forum. His name is Bill Noyes. He designed the Avenger, the Pisces, and I bought his chipmunk from him that was painted exactly like this at the same time. That was about 1969 that Tom Warden had his Continental, and it had a McCoy 40 in it, and I bought that airplane and I flew that. Oh, I flew the crap out of that, and I sold it to my high school teacher, Bob Shaw. I don't even know if he's still alive, but she'd probably close to 100 by now. But he really liked that airplane, and I sold it to him. So I don't know. I kind of miss the days of being a kid, going down the high school and flying. So, like I say, I'm getting ready for Paducah. That's the only thing that kind of brings me any joy anymore is going to these contests. After I really like building these things, but you got to see a little reward. So I've babbled probably long enough. Let's see how long we've been on here. I've been on a little over 15 minutes. We'll let her rip, and till I see you again, same story. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.